Okay, who can tell me what we talked about last week?
La cámara está. ¿Quieren que les active la videoconferencia?
Who remembers what we talked about last week?
The Bible templation.
About what?
The Bible templation.
The temptation. Very good. Of Jesus. Temptation of Jesus. And what happened in the temptation of Jesus?
And Jesus was fasting and God was telling him to eat.
Jesus was fasting. What else? Who could tell me what else happened? Sander, do you remember?
Top of the temple and he go.
Walk for 40 days.
For 40 days?
40 nights.
40 nights.
And when he finished work, he was hungry and the demon sent Jesus.
He was hungry and Satan tried to tempt Jesus to eat, to make rocks turn to stone. That was one of them. Who remembers what another one?
To get out of the temple and throw himself in the angels come down.
Yeah, very good. To go on the top of the temple and to throw himself off. And then the third one, what was the third one?
Oh yeah, there was 3.
One more. Satan took him to a very high mountain. He said, look at all these kingdoms. If you do what?
They're already say for the bread, Missy.
Yep, it was the bread. That was the first one. The second one was
To throw to the
to throw yourself off. And the third one was what? Who remembers?
Wait, I want to see what one.
What's your coffee?
Who knows? Come on, say.
No, I remember.
I don't remember, Mr.
Only remember from the first and the second.
I don't hear nothing.
Who remembers? He said, if you bow down and worship me. So he said, if you bow down and worship me, then I will give you all of the kingdom. And how did Jesus respond?
Jesus respond.
Yeah.
What did he use?
Scriptures.
Scriptures. He used scriptures to respond. That's why it's important for us to know the scriptures. I think that is it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're going to learn about our next story. But before we start that, we're going to pray. So I need everyone to bow your heads and close your eyes so we can pray. Ready? God, we thank you for this day. Lord, thank you that it's cooler today, God. Lord, we just thank you for all of your goodness and all of your blessings that you've showered and you've blessed us with, God. Lord, we ask that you just open up our eyes and to really understand what you want to teach us today, God. Lord, we thank you for this time, Jesus. We just ask, would you bless us, bless each and every single one of these students, God. Let us know that you understand what you're trying to teach. Lord, and everyone said,
Amen.
very good. Okay, so this story is, okay, Jesus passed the test of the temptation. So now he was going to start doing his ministry. Who's ever been to a wedding?
What is that?
A wedding. When two people get married,
Oh, yeah.
you've been to a wedding?
No, I have never.
You've never been to a wedding?
Yes.
I then of 10 years of with life, and I have never go to a marriage.
You've never ever been to a wedding. We're talking. I've been to.
Yes, me, yes.
Emily, you've been to a wedding before? Let's see. Okay, so at a wedding, normally you get the two people up front, the guy and the girl, you get married and they kiss, and then afterwards, John Carlos, why are you laughing about that? Afterwards, there's a party. They celebrate, okay?
Yeah,
So
we
this
are talking that we don't need to drink.
Afterwards, they go to a party and they celebrate. They have fun. They eat food. Everyone's happy.
Baleadas, coffee.
All of
No.
that. But what would happen? Bayas and coffee. That's what's gonna be at my wedding. What happens afterwards is, yeah, everyone gets together. Everyone that's invited. They have food. They have fun. And so Jesus was at a wedding. I don't know whose wedding it was, but Jesus was at a wedding. And so he went to this wedding, and he didn't just plan to attend it. And it kind of seems like his mom was kind of helping out, but we don't really know. So that's the background info, okay? What's happening. So now we're going to read in John 2,
John 2.
verse 1 through 11. We're going to read how Jesus changes water into wine. This is his first miracle that he did, okay? So let's read it. It says, on the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." All right, so let's do a quick review real fast. If I can get this to work. There we go. So there was a wedding that took place at Cana in Galilee. So Cana is a city, and Galilee is kind of like the state. So it's like saying there's a wedding that took place in Yorito in Yoro. So it was at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, so what ran out? What was the supply that ran out?
To a marriage.
Right here. What is this right here?
The wine.
The wine. The wine was what ran out. Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." Look at how Jesus responds. He says, "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My hour has not yet come." Basically, he's saying, man, what am I supposed to do? It's not time for me yet. Can you imagine talking to your mom like that? So imagine it's Saturday, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and your mom says, "Sweetheart, it's time to wake up." And you say, "Woman, I'm sleeping right now." What would happen to you?
I live. I continue sleeping.
No.
They hit me.
Yes.
They hit me.
You probably get a punishment, right? No, I'm sure he said it with respect. I'm sure he didn't scream at his mom. So his mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Okay? So it was his mom that said to him, "They have no more wine." So Jesus' mother is saying she's probably helping at the wedding. You never know. I wonder if she was helping at the wedding. He said, "There's no more wine." And he says, "Woman, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't really help right now." Sorry, let me.
Mister, you already start the answers, the questions.
I haven't given the questions yet.
Okay.
Good morning, Franklin. Okay, So his mother said to him, they have no more wine. He says, why do you want to involve me? But even though he says, I can't do anything about it, it's not my time. His father says, do whatever, or his mother said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. So he says to do something, do it. Nearby stood 6 stone water jars. So there's 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. That's a lot of water. Okay. So I looked at a photo of what these jars would have looked like. See if I can show you a photo of this. All
I
right.
don't know what is a jar.
So can you see my screen?
Oh,
You see these right here?
Yes.
Look how big those are. These are huge. Look at this photo of this guy. Look how big that ceremonial thing is. That's the size of it. So this is the size of the jar that they're using at the wedding of Cana. At Cana. It's huge, right? So imagine now they're filling those with water. Or they're filled with water for washing. So Jesus said to the servants, fill the jars with water. So there's 6 stone jars that they fill with water to the brim, which means to the top. The most that can be filled with. Then he told them, now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet. So it's like basically saying, take a cup and scoop it in and take it to the master of the banquet.
wow.
The person who is in charge. So they did so. And the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. So it was water, and then it got turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best until now. So basically he said, okay, normally at this wedding, we'll serve the best wine first. Okay? The best of the best. And then we'll bring the not so good stuff, the cheaper stuff. But you have saved the best until now. Is that true? Did they save the best till now? Yes or no? Did they save the best wine for last?
Yes.
Yes.
Normally you would, but they didn't. They ran out of wine. So then Jesus turns the water into wine. So let's finish off and we'll come back and review. What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. Okay, so is that necessarily true? That they saved the best until last? No, they didn't. What Jesus did is he took water and he turned it into wine. But he didn't just turn it into a wine that would work. He turned it into wine that was the best of the best. You see that? It says, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. They knew that it came from Jesus. Then he called the bridegroom aside, which means like the guy who got married. Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best until now. So he didn't save the best until now. He turned water to be the best wine ever. All right? Does that make sense? Can you understand me?
Yes.
Very good. All right. One more time, we're going to go through the story again, and then I'll give you the questions and let you guys work.
Mister.
And then if we finish that, then maybe we can do something fun. Okay? On the 3rd day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Where did the wedding take place? Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, what ran out?
Jesus' mother said to him.
But what ran out? They had no more what supply?
The wine.
The wine. Jesus' mother said to him, they have no more wine. So who told Jesus there was no more wine?
The mother.
The mother, okay? Women, Why do you involve me? Jesus replied, my hour has not yet come. So basically he's saying, it's not time yet for me to do what I'm supposed to do. His mother said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. Nearby stood 6 stone water jars. How many water jars were there?
Some water jars.
6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, which means for like hand washing ceremony, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, fill the jars with water. So they filled them to the brim, and then he said, now take some water out and take it to the master of the banquet. So take water out and take it to the master of the banquet. But Jesus told the servants, the people who are in charge of serving wine and food and all that, to fill the jars with water. So they're empty. Now draw them out and take it to the master of the banquet. So they did that. And the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, everyone brings out the choice wine first, which means the best wine, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best till now. But we know that's not true. What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. So he didn't save the best until then. He made water to become the best. So he turned what was not even there, and he made it in something way beautiful. So we can apply that to our own lives. There are many areas in our lives, maybe things we're not so happy about, things we think we're not good at, and God can turn it into something beautiful, something of value. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to put the questions up here. You guys hear that horn in the back?
How many we are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 we are.
Connecting.
Where it goes like that. Where it goes like this.
Bye.
Thunder. Thunder.
One sec, guys. A little slow.
No, they're falling down.
All right, here we go. Oh, someone broke something.
Yes.
What is it?
Please, I cannot get out.
Okay, here we go. These are the questions you have to answer. If you're paying attention, they're going to be very easy.
Yes, mister.
Where was the wedding at? I ran out. Who was the person that told Jesus to do something? And what did Jesus say to do?
We need to write it in the notebook, mister.
Yes, you need to write it in the notebook. Okay.
This one tells us that we believe in God. Acts 16:31, I believe in God, I'm going to be saved. And the last finger tells us I will go to heaven.
One sec, guys.
First